Hey YouTube, welcome back to another episode of Age of Engineering. I'm really excited about today's episode, guys. We are going to progress further in the calculation age, and let me show you, just jump up here and talk to you about what we're going to be doing today. So what we're going to be doing today is making this atomic reconstructor from actual additions, and this unlocks a lot of stuff. If you remember, let's go back to, what was it? Canola, right? Remember the canola press? We wanted to make the canola press and we couldn't get these Inori crystals. Inori crystals are made by the atomic reconstructor. So what we're going to do today is make this thing. And that is possible because we have RF now. So what I'm going to do is, unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to, I've got 92,000 RF in here. I don't know if this will actually transfer power over to the atomic reconstructor, but we need to reconfigure this. I have way too many things going into this power cube. What I'd probably like to do is put the clockwork engine and maybe the survivalist generator into this power cube, and we can keep the hand cranked generator on top or whatever for for a little while. But we have enough peat stuff here that we can go ahead and we can break this if we want to. This is only 2 pieces of peat. Give me 100,000 RF. That's amazing. That's a lot of RF. So we can break that. We've got, an insane amount of RF sitting there. But it only goes 20 RF per tick. This will do 60. But again, this consumes fuel, and I'm not real excited about that at this point. This is what we're going to be working with today. I went ahead and did some more mining to get some more copper and coal and stuff like that. These new tools are fantastic. I haven't had to repair them yet. I did put mending moss on them, so it's going to take me even longer to repair them. I did get mending moss on my arrows here. I probably will use the rest of my modifiers here for sharpness to make that damage a little higher. But anyway, let's get started today. To make the atomic reconstructor, you're going to need all of this stuff right here. All of this. So without the bucket, you're going to need all of this stuff right here. So let's go ahead and plug in atomic reconstructor, and you'll see that we're going to need a bunch of stuff that you've seen the iron casing before, but you've never seen any of these other things. So let's make the iron casing real quick. I went ahead and made the basic machine casing here, but I have all the rest of the items. You saw me make that in the last episode. So we've got the advanced machine casing here, and then we'll go ahead and make the iron casing. From this point on, I'll probably just make the iron casing and have that as part of the recipe list, and you'll just have to get all the pieces for that in the future. Okay, so to make this reinforced ingot, iron ingot, we're going to need our calculator. So let's pop out our calculator, and we're going to go ahead and make reinforced stone. If you remember, that was just the planks in cobblestone, and I'm curious how much each of these takes. So each of those is 1 RF, so that's going to take 4 RF there. Perfect. And then we're going to combine iron and reinforced stone to make reinforced iron ingot. So how much is this? We're at 996. That one is just 1. That's amazing. Okay, so now we have 4 reinforced stone. And then you'll see that we need 4 of this enriched gold. To make the enriched gold, we're going to need gold dust and 1 redstone. Alrighty. So now let's take all these and put these together. There you go. There's our atomic reconstructor. Now let's set this down somewhere. Let's go ahead and pick all this up. I'm not concerned about losing RF. The only one that would be really a big deal would be losing the coal generated stuff, and really, since I'm not going to be using that too much, I'm not too concerned about it. So let's stick our power cube there. We'll stick the survivalist generator on top, sure. And we'll just stick this over here and the clockwork engine right there. Okay, and we'll just go ahead and crank this up to orange. There we go, and just let that fill it up. That'll be perfect. Okay, so now our atomic reconstructor, let's stick that let's stick that here. Okay, now the atomic reconstructor is by default is always on. So as soon as I supply redstone to it, it's going to do its laser thing. And we don't particularly want it to do its laser thing unless we tell it to. So what we need to do is we need to make a redstone torch, and we want to right click it with a redstone torch, and that's going to be set to pulse. You see how the redstone mode there is deactivation. So if it's on naturally now, so if I apply a redstone pulse, it will turn it off. What I want it to do is I want it to pulse activate when I make a redstone signal. So let's go grab a button. Did not account for the button. And let's also grab a piece of obsidian, because I'll show you why here in a second. Okay, now the atomic reconstructor, when given, I think it's 1000 RF, will pulse out a beam that will pretty much travel to China. There's a range on it. I don't know what it is. 16 blocks, 32 blocks. I don't know what it is. But it will convert anything in front of it like redstone. So we have, for example, here this block of iron that I would like to turn into something. So let's put our peat engine there. We'll put a lever on it. We'll turn our lever on, and let's put a yeah, let's just toss a ton of, because this is 300,000, so that's going to be, you know, plus extra. Yeah, that'll work. I don't know, does this sometimes give us gray clay or light gray clay in here as a byproduct? I don't know. I have no idea. But anyway, this has already got enough power to do what we want it to do. So what you want to do is, what's the best way to describe this? I think I'm going to stop for a second, go back into our guide, and kind of tell you what this happens. Okay. When it activates, a laser is put out, like I said, and it will give us Restonia from redstone or redstone blocks, or Inori from iron or iron blocks. Okay. And this opens up a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to let you read this on your own. We're not going to do progressive automation. I don't particularly like progressive automation. I feel like it's too expensive, especially the later stuff. Now that I've said that, we may use some of it, I guess. I might as well show you kind of what it does. And if I was playing like my own little mod pack, I wouldn't use it. But since we're in kind of like a special thing, I may make a couple of these things. But it has like automatic crafting, farming, mining, and mob killing, which is kind of neat. This is interesting to me a little bit. These are all a little mildly interesting to me. But I'm pretty sure the power generation, I guess it uses RF, so we could use kind of what we have. I've changed my mind. I've talked myself into it. We're going to use progressive automation for some things. We can also use a lot of the stuff from immersive engineering, which we are going to do today. I've got the stuff for the kinetic dynamo. I've got stuff for the water wheels. I've got stuff for the low voltage power capacitors, the storage power, and the wires to connect those and stuff like that. This also, making these things also unlocks something called a mod called Solar Flux Reborn. And they're suggesting here that we use Solar Flux Reborn as a way of, these power cables, right? So these transfer 320 RF per tick, and these cables, and then, it goes up from there an insane amount. 3,200 and then 32,000, 320,000. That's nuts. That's a lot of RF. I've never seen anything that's crazy. Okay. That's actually pretty easy. Glass and Restonia crystals, I think we're going to use Immersive Engineering's power transfer system if we can. We may use some of those. But there's also solar panels for that again, and those are actually a lot cheaper than the industrial craft ones, but they are pretty weak sauce, and we've got some pretty good RF generating stuff. So Actual Editions also has something called an energizer and an enervator. This charges RF powered stuff and depowers it respectively. And then there's also like mining that we can do. We could also use something called integrated dynamics, and I haven't looked into that at all. I'd like to take a look at this. Logic programmer, energy battery. I don't know what any of this stuff is. I might have to watch. This is where we get our mineral stuff from, and we can start using mineral for things. Maybe I'll make a mineral book and kind of read through that off camera. But anyway, so let's toss our iron block here and give it a pulse. It's going to turn it into an Inori crystal block. Now we can take that and make Inori crystals from it, which is pretty neat. Okay. So yeah, we're letting that power up. This Pete engine is amazing. I'm a big fan. But yeah, you'll notice that laser that came out of here got stopped by the obsidian. The obsidian didn't get turned into anything, and that's fantastic. So what we're going to be doing now is we are going to be making, let's go to immersive engineering. Okay, and we are going to be making the kinetic dynamo. This is going to take, this is going to be our first real decent passive RF generation that we've got going on in this mod pack right now. So kinetic dynamo is 3 iron ingots, 2 redstone, and then this thing called a copper coil block, which is bizarre. Okay, that's going to take an Inori crystal in the middle surrounded by low voltage wire coils, and you're like, what the heck is that? Okay, so that is going to be these copper wires and a stick or treated stick. I went ahead and got sticks, but to make the copper wire, you need to take an engineering wire cutters or shears and use those on a copper plate. So I've got 8 copper plates here, and since you know what a shear is, you don't necessarily know what an engineer's cutter is. We're going to use that, and we're gonna go ahead and make 8 wires, and we're gonna surround those. We're gonna surround those around sticks. So we just need 2 sticks. Let's grab the 2 sticks, and we're going to do that just like this. And that's going to give us the 8 of these that we need. We're going to surround an Inori crystal with that, and that's going to give us our copper coil block. Awesome. Now all we need to do is take this, put those like that, and there's our kinetic dynamo. Fantastic. Well, I'm going to put the kinetic dynamo right here so that it's facing, see this this copper square here with the tiny little gray square, that's going to be your output side. And we come over here. I might have been wrong about that. I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. We'll see. We'll play with it. We'll play with it for sure. We also want to get our engineer's hammer. Actually, I don't know if that matters. That might be the input side now that I think about it. If I remember right, immersive engineering is a little weird with stuff like that. Okay. I do want to show you something that it's been a while since I've used this. Yeah, now I'm pretty sure that that's the wrong side. That's the input side. So let's come out here and we're going to place this just like that. Okay. Let's see if we can get back in here. Sweet. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to take, yeah, this is the output up here. So you want to not do that. Okay. So you want to shift, do I have the wrong tool here? I thought there was a way. Is it left click? Maybe it's left click. Nope. Is there a wrench that I'm not remembering? Give me a second here. Nope. Okay. I don't remember why this is being weird. Yeah, it doesn't matter if I'm right-clicking, shift right-clicking, or just regular right-clicking, but there should be a way to change this color down here. Let me take a look at that, and I'll be right back. I need to figure this out. Okay, I think the kinetic dynamo maybe only ever outputs up the top. I mean, I don't think it'll output out the back here. And the configuration that I'm trying to do with it is only with the capacitors. So ignore everything that I've been doing. And yeah, we'll go with the next thing. So the next thing I want to do is make a capacitor. And that is the thing that we can configure. Okay, so the capacitor is going to take these treated wood planks, and we've been getting a ton of those from the coke ovens. It needs 2 copper ingots, a lead ingot, 3 iron ingots, and then this Restonia crystal block. So I grabbed a block of redstone, and we're going to blast it with, and you'll notice there I placed that down on purpose. So you notice with the iron block, I tossed it in there, and then I just tossed it out like this and hit it with the laser, and it worked. And then I also just placed the redstone block down like this and hit it with the laser, and both methods are functional. So okay, so let's make this thing. It is not too expensive, which is awesome. Decent power storage, and we're gonna take this and we're gonna set it oh, I don't know, let's set it here. No, we can't do that. We can't do that. Okay, so we'll just set it out here in the middle. That's fine. Okay, so now you see how the top of this is blue, and then it's orange, and then nothing. So I'm just simply right-clicking. Blue is in, orange is out, nothing is disabled. Okay, so we want power to come into the capacitor there from the top of our kinetic dynamo here. Okay, so now the next thing I want to build is the water wheel, and I'm going to build 3 of these. So you're going to need 12 water wheel segments, 3 steel ingots, and each of these water wheel segments takes 3 treated wood planks and 4 treated sticks. So let's grab all of those, and let's craft up those. Should get 12 of those, and then this should be 3 of these. So let's go have a sleep real quick, and then we'll run outside and we'll put these in, and I'll show you a great configuration for this. These are kind of specific. They have to be set up a specific way in order for them to function at the most efficient. We'll just leave that open, it's fine. Okay, so let's run around to the back here, and we're gonna want to maybe terraform a little bit, maybe not. Okay, and we'll place that there, and see how big these things are? It's massive, and that's actually perfect. That's where we want the bottom to be. These are very beautiful. I love these things a lot. And all you do is shift right click them next to each other like that, and we do want 3, so that's perfect. Now what we need to do is I need to show you a great way to set these up. So let me grab a bunch of dirt, because we're going to use dirt for now. We'll make this pretty later. But basically we're going to set water on the top of this block here. See, these are the bounding boxes. There's one there, and then there's one there. So we're going to set water on top of this, and we're going to make sure the water flows, and it's going to drop down in front of these 3 and then roll underneath the bottom of these 3. There won't be any water on these at all because we can't make water go up. So let me grab some water, the bucket of water that we have. I'll grab a bunch of dirt, and we'll head back out there, and we'll turn it on. Now there are some, if you put the blocks where they're at, there are going to be spots that actually let's just use, there's something called wood scaffolding, and these look pretty cool. So let's make, we have tons of this, so let's just make those. Can I make all of those in a, no, okay. I don't know how many of these I'm going to need, so let's just make a bunch, right? Yeah. I think these will look better. Perfect. Okay, we have our water with us, so let's just do that. We'll do some terraforming here. I say terraforming, I mean like we're gonna alter the earth. Alter the earth a little bit. Okay, so we don't. Let's see. The boundary box is there. I do believe we can come all the way back to here, and then we want to go up, straight up here. So let's put another. Let's fix all of this here. We're gonna want to bring this all the way. Water's gonna drop right down in front of here. Okay. Just like this. Okay. Now we're going to go up. And we're going to find this bounding box here, and we're going to put our scaffolding right there. Yeah, we won't need that. Okay. And this scaffolding's nice because it works like it works like ladders, which is pretty neat. So you shouldn't take any fall damage if you're not if you're paying attention. Okay, so this is going to come out here like this, and we're going to run this over like this. And we're going to put our water right here. So water is going to flow over, okay? And water being what it is, it's going to try and get through there. So we're going to block that. It's going to flow straight down. It's going to hit the grass and roll and flow backwards like that. And since we have a solid wall on this side, it should be fine. Yeah. So let's grab our water here. Let's go back up top, and we'll put three streams of water going across. One right there. Let's make sure that that is working. That should turn everything. And once we have all three going here, I've taken fall damage every single time I've come off of this thing. I'm not particularly trying not to take fall damage either. So, and then we'll put the last one right there. And we'll light this up, because I'm pretty sure mobs can spawn up here. Okay, so there's our passive water wheels. And you can make as many of these as you want. 3 is the maximum they can connect. Yeah, let's make this one better. Okay, so we're going to bring this up, and we're going to place water. I think that makes it better. Yep. So that should be the maximum amount of power this thing can produce. I think that is set up correctly. Okay, there you go. Alright, so let's run inside. Let's connect up this power to our capacitor, and we'll call it an episode for today. So I did not need to make nearly as many of these scaffolding as I wanted to, but I'll probably use those building this place. That'll be nice. I'm glad I have them. You can also make steel scaffolding if you want. I don't recommend it. That's expensive. That's crazy. The wood is free. Okay, so let's put this back here. And then we're going to connect the power. Oh, this isn't actually producing power. Uh-oh. Why is this not producing power? Oh, let's see. Power generation. Okay. Not exactly sure why this isn't working. Maybe it's because it doesn't have any output. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so what you want to do now is you want to make these LV wire connectors, low voltage wire connectors, and those are pretty cheap to make. Those are just going to be 2 hardened clay, 2 Estonia crystals, Restonia crystals. And so I'm going to make 2 of them, right? I want to connect the oh wow, it already makes 2 naturally. Okay. Well, I guess I can make 4. because I'm going to want to go from the capacitor to somewhere else, right? Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to make some more cables. Should have did this up beforehand. It's okay. No big deal. I am kind of concerned that this doesn't have any RF in it, though. That does bother me a little bit. Hopefully this works. And then I think all you do is connect... Oh yeah, there's the IF. Interesting, okay. Do I need to... Yeah, did I make the wrong thing? It's these here that I need to make. Yeah, so let me go grab 2 more copper. Okay, let's try this one more time. So you right click on one of the connectors and then right click the next one, and it's transferring the IF. Now I don't know if IF and RF are interchangeable. So let's break this just to find out, right? So did that take all of the power out of it? I don't know. I hope so. I hope it drained all the power out of it. That would be nice. But knowing the immersive engineering guy, it may not have. No, it did not. Okay, so if I put this here and I go grab some more redstone, we can make some more Restonia. We'll just make a stack. That's fine. We got plenty of redstone. I just put looting on my pickaxe with the lapis lazuli, and all right. So let's put a whole. Let's actually do one at a time. Where'd my button go? There it is. Okay, so that's down to no. Now do I have to output it? Okay, so let's try configuring this a little bit. This is gonna be fun. Okay, so let's take our hammer here, and we're going to do output there. We have a connector here, so we're gonna go out from the. Yeah, we'll just do this. Okay, and then we'll put our obsidian there. And then we'll put input there, and we'll connect that with a wire. It does work. That's amazing. Awesome. So you see that filled up. It went from 299 to 300. So if I were to do that again, just do one. This is at 300. It went back up to 300. We have passive power generation, guys. Man, so this is immersive flux, but I think it's the same as redstone flux, the RF. Excellent. So don't need this anymore. Oh man, that's hilarious. Passive power for the win, and it's actually a lot. This is 100,000 RF in here and 300,000 in here. So we've got plenty of power for days, and I love immersive engineering power transfer. I love how it's looks like a power line. Yeah. So we're gonna have that running through our whole base. You know, like I said, we might be using the cables to go through walls and stuff like that, but these wires just look so good. And anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. That's gonna be it for today. Had a lot of fun getting immersive engineering set up, and having the Restonia and Estonia lets us be able to do a lot of really cool things. So looking forward to more with you guys. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.